So these Vulture articles just dropped on reality TV, and one of them was a hit piece on Nick. And it has been quite telling. I have so much I want to say on this subject, and I don't know if I have the time to properly say it all, but I'm going to try. First of all, I do want everyone to look at this cover, and it was the theme, people scantily clad in their go to sleep clothes, or in Nick's case, just basically almost naked. Well, the article, despite flying Nick out to get him almost naked, was definitely attacking him. And the original article just attacking Nicolandria in general, they then saw the outrage and tweaked a few things, but the original article said that Nicolandria gamely played along with their relationship on the show, but the article called out Nick, saying he had an ability to pivot. He could tell which way the island wind was blowing and adapt from ladies' man to yearning, twerking boy next door. After being called out, they did, instead of saying that Nicolandria gamely played along, that Nicolandria, who are still together, were the runaway victors in all the ways that actually count: fan fondness and sponsorship deals. Well, Nick decided to speak out on this article, saying, "Dear Vulture magazine, I fly all the way to New York, where you asked me to be photographed half naked, and you beyond half naked, by the way, but he says half naked, and you smile and shake my hand and then write some bullshit like this. I'm sure I'll be told to not speak up about this." And I think Nick has every reason to be upset with this article, because it was definitely some sort of hit piece on him from writers and an editor that I assume have it out for him. Maybe they were rooting for someone else on Love Island. One of the writers they're saying is Rebecca Jennings. I don't know if that is completely true. If it is her, I believe she wrote another article that was against Olandria during the season, but I don't know for sure if this is the person that wrote this article. But honestly, with articles like this, who needs journalism integrity? And we'll just go ahead and say it actually was Rebecca Jennings. Sammy Love Island on TikTok brought up some of the points as to why Nick should be upset with this article.
From his utter inability to process the idea that his name is the mother of a child. Now, when I read that, I thought they were calling him stupid, because I felt like that's what I was grasping. Because honestly, if we think about it, all the guys, Nick had the most genuine reaction and was taking it as far to literally want to meet the child.
So yeah, at one point in this article, they were trying to make fun of the viral moment of Mamacita, as if Nick was not a joking person within the show. That is what he did. That's why that moment went viral in the first place. But the article implied that it was just Nick being dumb. That was hit number one.
But then also to the second time, when they decided to say Vansteenberghe leaned into the role of person in love, and with quotations, with Olandria, which was rude as well, because why is it with black women where it always seems to be we are not the love interest, or we are not the it girl, we are not the main character? Like, it is so tiresome. Like, this is 2026, people. Like, wake up. Black girls can be everything and more.
And that's been the shit with a lot of this hate for Olandria the entire time, acting as if she cannot be Nick's love interest. Whether it is anti-blackness or anti-interracial relationship, I don't know. But this is the point that Hollywood always tries to do, whether it is reality television or actual fictional television. They try to deem that the black woman is not the one that is being pursued in these moments, while at the same time the standard of beauty is the black woman, because all these people are out there dying of fucking BBLs all over the world. BBLs are killing people because they want an ass.
Even to further that, like, they shaded him, saying his career is a side hustle, which it's not. Nick is trying to make DJing, like, that is Chris' career. That is what he's always wanted to do.
And this was the other shade that they really tried it, saying that Nick is now pursuing that most tried and true reality side hustle, DJ for hire, but that is shade as if it isn't a successful thing so far for him. It has been very successful for him so far, and yet that comes off of the popularity of Love Island, but you can't shade it if it is actually successful. But the thing that really got me was in the same day for Vulture, they decided to hype Amaya up. First of all, saying that she has retained much of her authenticity, popping up on socials to get out ahead of news about her breakup with Love Island co-star Brian. Is Amaya still authentic? Because anyone watching Beyond the Villa can see that she is a part of the Clout Clique, where they are trying to push their own agenda. But the same magazine is trying to pretend like Amaya is not only still authentic, as if they're not watching the same show we are, where she is being a part of the Mean Girl clique, like what? But they also don't down her for this joke of a possible rap career, where they say that soon she will release rap music. But her most impressive post-show act has been sustaining her hot girl watching Goose's energy, not just on the Love Island sequel Beyond the Villa, but in a tsunami of podcast appearances, blah, 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 blah. Nothing shading her rap career, where she absolutely sucks in any clip we've seen of her rapping. John Cena can rap better than Amaya. Now, while we don't know who exactly wrote this article for sure, I have not been able to see who wrote that for sure. There's no real proof that I have found, but we do know who the editor is at Vulture, who does the TV and entertainment portion, and that is this woman right here. And I know what you all are thinking. I was shocked too. Miss Piggy is the editor for Vulture magazine. Who knew? Who knew? Very shocking. But I guess her name is Julie Kosin or something to that effect. And no matter who the writer is, the editor makes the final decision of what goes through. They have to accept all of the words in the article. They accepted the fact that this would be a hit piece on Nick. And Miss Piggy here does look like a bona fide hater. But this is the problem with mainstream media. It used to be just political, but now you see it everywhere. Mainstream media these days, it's not real journalism. It's why I don't feel sorry when people are getting laid off on all these magazine companies. Like the Vultures need to come for Vulture and some other magazines like it, because they employ writers and editors like this that just talk shit instead of actually, maybe doing a little research, especially on Amaya, hyping up Amaya on what's happening on this season of Beyond the Villa. But they do that because there's always agenda pushing somewhere. Now, I need you all to stay with me because I'm going to go on a totally different subject just for a second to do the comparison. Because in the sports world, in the NFL, Coach Mike Vrabel had this affair with a reporter. A many years long affair. Photos coming out from 6 years ago that they were having an affair way back then, and it's still been going on. And we have speculation that maybe even one of her sons is his, because his name is Michael. But why I bring this up is because when bloggers and, independent people were bringing up this affair, they were getting attacked by, supposed real reporters in the mainstream media and the mainstream sports media, because for weeks the mainstream media didn't want to talk about this. They didn't want to touch this because probably some of them knew about it for so long because their fellow reporter was involved in the affair. And so they tried to just sweep it under the rug when it is one of their own that they're trying to protect. And this is how you can always see the kind of agendas with the mainstream media. And that is how I see this hit piece on Nick. The agenda is clear. For whatever reason, they wanted a hit piece on Nick. So now, of course, we will have to deal with dumbasses coming out with their opinions on this matter that don't actually make sense.
Now I understand his frustration, like you go across the country and that's what's written about you. But where is the lie? The entire season, Nick was with someone else and closed things off with her until she was physically removed.
And so this is why reading is fundamental, and being able to interpret what you are reading is fundamental. And this is why all of the arguments against Nicolandria usually end up nowhere, because they try to take opposite point of views and say both things are true just to try and discredit either them as people or them as a couple. Because the article says that Nick was successful because of his ability to pivot and that he could tell which way the island wind was blowing. But the problem with that is what this dumbass just said. He was coupled up with Sierra through most of the season. So this idiot asking, where's the lie? Well, the article's not saying that. The article is saying he was able to pivot. Well, no, he only pivoted after the show took Sierra out of the show. The article is saying he could tell which way the island wind was blowing, but could he really tell that when he was still with Sierra until she was removed from the show? So, according to this other girl, where's the lie when Nick was with Sierra the whole time? But these are, again, the two arguments going against each other. Was Nick an opportunist who was able to pivot because he saw the writing on the wall of what the popularity would be with Olandria, even though they didn't get together until the final week? Or were Nick and Olandria just friends and they're faking it, and he wanted Sierra the whole time, actually? Those are the two opposite knocks on the relationship that go against each other. Only one of those can be true, or neither of those can be true. They were friends the whole time. Nick was actually a friend to Olandria the entire season, and that's why they tried to, take it slow after the show.
I'm gonna be honest with y'all, the issue is not that the publication sees it this way. The issue is inviting him to New York to do this feature and then having this be the accompanying article is definitely trying him.
Anyway, the real problem with this damn article is that they got him half naked and then wrote a hit piece. That's the big problem to me. And it's not that they just flew him out for the article and then took photos. It's the specific photos that they asked him to take. They asked him to get naked and then decided it was going to be some sort of Hollywood humiliation ritual, I feel like. I feel like you could only get too big in the spotlight before Hollywood is going to try and humble you or humiliate you. And that is what this is feeling like. It's either that or just a big ol' hate piece from the editor of Vulture, Miss Piggy.